Carl Edwards, boy's hot. On the pole for Bristol's Saturday night special, and it's going to be a hot one. 3 grooves. 3 good grooves, good tires. Goodyear's done a good job with tires out here, but nobody knows what to expect. 3 grooves, all equally fast. So do you pick the high groove, the middle groove, the low groove? Talked to several drivers, several crew chiefs. They really don't know what. We used to know what Bristol was going to be. Slam, bam, move them out of the way. Right now it's been pretty clean. Not that fans like it like that. 160,000 people here. 2 races on the new surface. 2 races that have been a little iffy. This time, we're looking at the race to the chase. 7 guys. 5 of those guys are going to make the chase. 2 aren't. That's going to bring conservative racing to this race tomorrow night by some of the top names. I don't think that's going to be good. Carl Edwards, hey, he's hot. Kyle Busch, hey, he's hot. But let's look at deeper than just Ford versus Toyota. Ford's Carl Edwards versus Toyota's Kyle Busch. Everybody's saying Toyota, 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 and Kyle Busch is, hey, 17 major NASCAR national wins. Hey, and it's still only August. Kyle is hot. Gibbs is hot. Is Toyota hot? We had a chassis dyno and an engine dyno test out of Michigan last weekend. What did we find? Rising results. At the chassis dyno test in the field at Michigan, which is not really a pristine environment to do a major test like that, Kurt Busch, not Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch in Penske's Dodge won the race handily. Best car on the chassis dyno. And yet, when NASCAR took those engines, a dozen engines or so, back to Charlotte for better testing on the engine dyno, Jeff Burton's engine was the best. Jeff Burton, Richard Childress, they got the best engines, NASCAR says, according to their own test. So why did Jeff Burton only finish 11th at Michigan? Sounds to me like there's some strange things going on over in the Childress camp. RC's a good guy. He was wearing camo up here, talking about hunts here, hunts there, South Africa, Mongolia, maybe South America, who knows what else. He's going to Newfoundland to try to get something else, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe he should be spending some more time trying to figure out why his engines are so good and his teams aren't using them that well. Start of the year, Childress' threesome, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and Jeff Burton, they were the Chevy leaders. Right now, they're not. But what's going on to Rick Hendricks? Look at the chart today. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 40th for the start of the race. 40th. This is Bristol. Earnhardt should be an Earnhardt here. I still remember Dale Sr. knocking Terry Labonte out of the way, wanting to rattle his cage. When Dale Sr. wanted to make a race, he made it a race. You might have hated him. You might have loved him. He made it exciting. What can Dale Jr. do from 40th? I don't know. He's going to have a hard time not getting lapped. Toyota. Is Toyota a hot ticket? You'd think so looking at Kyle Busch. But look at Tony Stewart and Denny Hamlin and check the stats from last year this weekend. Tony Stewart and Denny Hamlin last year going into Bristol had better stats in a Chevrolet than they do this year in Toyotas. Hey, are they worse drivers this year? Nah. That to me says it's not Toyota that's doing so much butt kicking. It's Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is hot. So is Carl Edwards. What are we going to have Saturday night at Bristol? Carl versus Kyle. It's looking that way. Jeff Gordon starts 3rd. About time he won a race, if you ask me, but there's something strange going on at Hendricks. Talked to Doug Ducart, the big honcho over there, 3 times today, tried to figure out why Jimmy Johnson at Michigan in the chassis dyno test came in dead last. 20 horsepower off the best car. Jimmy Johnson. Hey, Hendricks bunch has had the best engines in the field for the last 2 or 3 years. All of a sudden, they're getting beat this badly? Doug didn't like the analogies. He didn't like the results. He says he doesn't believe the results, but he wouldn't stop and explain very much. And some of the people in the garage area, some of their rivals, are starting to ask questions. Maybe when Dale Jr. joined Rick Hendrick, it upset the delicate balance of chemistry. After all, running a 4-car team is no easy matter. Keeping everybody happy. Jeff Gordon hasn't won. Dale Jr. won, but he won a gas mileage race at Michigan. He hasn't won a race head-to-head, bumper-to-bumper since Richmond over 2 years ago. And Jimmy Johnson, he's starting to look better. But if you listen to the radio conversations between him and crew chief Chad Knaus, you've got some questions too. We need to watch Hendrick. We need to see if Childress can get his guys going again. But to me, this year is Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards. Kyle's won 8 races. Carl's won 6 races. One of those guys is going to get another victory at Bristol Saturday night. Mike Mulhern for the Winston-Salem Journal and JournalNow.com.